Promo at Sumama de Semenina, aha, Abba UTV, Cassier, so. Baby, I will be a channel so bet me a show up for 10 times. So UTV Ghana, Sason Obi PMO channel 360 on DSTV, so bet me a share a day free honomo. Jumako did sway as a Cassier and call and farmer. But this way chocolate drink, the we here a so you know, what I said, the gumu, Natigum, Numusana Bogo, Mofa Pemping for Bibia. Epe saso na best point savings and loans and best assurance home for insurance won sem nyina kodan best point saso na usika sem nyina fa kodan womo saso na special eyes mineral water abuju so papa we fie mu offices any adwama so de mesel upia de suwa obenom a special eyes mineral water saso na UTI data sort en chenepa emebi mpa wo fie da premoka sie nsama hodo a edi mu akotene ebi ene Ghana Armed Forces Abre Womo Aye graduation na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ekokopie mu ewo honomo saso na African Land Forces Summit 2025 ene na wodini nyina aba ewie ye said ye beya rubber edi efin wo haw eba wo man mu enti sabre sustainable policy blueprint sabe o mada nedi saso na obepie mu ewo kwawu a Mrasabajani wo mpraye so ewo Eastern region wo de ato edwa se sa kwawu Eastern wo de to obi bia nim se bambo pa de emu ebeyire kete nti obi a enka na koma ento ne yemwei ene nsem ka ho na semufuo aboabo anu amosomfo abana cheibu ache mede ba bedan mu ene ewie Afrika se no emu enchiremu His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wakwakopie mu ewo dwumadia ekoso Ghana Armed Forces abra wo mo mafa entity yemu ama nei yeji wo matum se eyasrafo wo ma graduation e de ama mo no e no mampanyini kasa e no de atudwa se wo mo ma no kredie ne ani die ene akokoduro endi wo mo anim abra yeji wo matum se wo mo enkoye asrafo sei e no mampanyini chem.
Ladies and gentlemen, 9 years ago, I was here to perform a similar function as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. It gives me a great sense of nostalgia to be here again today. And as fate and the uncertainties of life would have it, I'm back again to preside over this auspicious ceremony. I'm grateful to the Almighty God and highly elated to be part of this graduation parade and commissioning ceremony. I wish to assure you that my administration and the entire Ghanaian people stand strongly with you in your bid to serve and protect our nation. Mother Ghana demands your devotion and your patriotic service. My dear officer cadets of the Ghana Armed Forces, you stand here today as a testament to the values of discipline, courage, and dedication that define the Ghana Armed Forces. This is because you have all successfully surmounted the rigors of the commissioning course. You have endured the arduous physical and intellectual training. You've overcome countless challenges and proved yourselves worthy of the Presidential Commission. It is worth admitting that the spectacular display you have put up this morning is evidence of the months of dedication and commitment to your training in the Ghana Military Academy. As a result, today we celebrate your achievements and look forward to the significant contributions you will make to our nation, to our sub-region, to our continent, and to the entire world. Ladies and gentlemen, the smart and well-coordinated drills and formations, as well as the prompt responsiveness of the contingent to the parade commander's orders, connotes the high standard of training these resilient men have gone through. I'm convinced that your relatives who are gathered here today, and even those watching from far away through various networks, will be proud of your professional appearance and your smart display. Yeah, they deserve an applause, yeah? The credit also goes to the Armed Forces High Command and the Commandant of the Ghana Military Academy, and his untiring instructors, who through service, devotion, and sacrifice have turned these cadets from, I was going to say bloody civilians, from civilians, you didn't hear bloody, to the officers that they are becoming today. I know you call us bloody civilians. I see you as officers ready to contribute your quota to defending the territorial integrity of our country and to protecting our democracy. Certainly, the Ghana Military Academy has remained resolute and well-focused in achieving its mandate, notwithstanding some challenges it faces. This academy has a very rich history of training many of West Africa's great and famous military leaders. Talking about academics in relation to the Ghana Armed Forces, I'm particularly elated about the coming on stream of the National Defense University. Particularly elated about the coming on stream of National Defense University. The Charter provides the Ghana Armed Forces the mandate to explore and facilitate extensive teaching and learning towards more effective national defense and security. Conceptually, as one of the constituent colleges of the National Defense University, the Ghana Military Academy will receive the needed facilities to achieve its mandate. This intervention will actualize the upgrading of the commissioning course to a postgraduate diploma status for newly commissioned officers. And so when the officers are commissioned, they'll come out with a postgraduate diploma. I am committed to supporting the National Defense University to realize its full potential. This specialized institution will run strategic academic courses to support government's efforts for strategic higher education for qualified Ghanaians, civilians, and the military. The university will certainly be another opportunity to incorporate and mainstream military discipline and doctrine in our people, pursuing higher education with a view to accelerating our Reset Ghana agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minister for Defense has informed me that the Ghana Military Academy, as we see today, has only undergone its first phase of expansion, and it is awaiting a second phase and even a third phase. In complementing the need to make the facilities more functional, I'll give attention to your urgent requirement for a sports complex with a modern gymnasium and a swimming pool. And also the construction of an outer perimeter road to facilitate training in the academy. Distinguished guests, our sub-region is affected by the scourge of terrorism. Terrorist attacks close to our northern border have become a regular feature. Ghana is also not immune from the influence and effects of the complex challenges posed by the global security environment. This is because globally non-state security actors are becoming, or in some instances, have already become central and pivotal. This situation requires a comprehensive approach to state security, and one cannot underestimate the importance of active participation of all our citizens in the security and stability of our state. As citizens of Ghana, we must recognize that the nature of contemporary threats that confront us demand that we do not perceive our security services as the exclusive institutions responsible for our safety and security. The complementary roles of individuals, organizations, and the government in national security is of critical importance. I urge our citizens in discharging this complementary duty of helping to safeguard our security, not to behave like the shepherd boy in the famous fable who cried, "Wolf, wolf," when there was no wolf. If we behave like that boy, either for partisan or parochial interest, we distract the attention of our security services from focusing on their critical job of keeping us safe. Let us support our security services and the Ghana Armed Forces with information that is useful and intelligence that is helpful, that will advance their work rather than retrogress it. Let me reiterate that we will take all allegations of crime seriously and trigger our security service investigative machinery to go after criminals no matter who they are. But let me state emphatically also that we do not have the resources and time to engage in any game of smoke and mirrors. The Ghana Armed Forces is engaged in several theaters to maintain peace and security in our nation. One major flashpoint continues to be the Bawku area. Only 2 days ago, an incident in a marketplace triggered an unfortunate loss of lives and criminal vandalism of property. I wish to emphasize that nobody gains from this situation of conflict and insecurity. We have triggered the Otumfor mediation process, which saw all stakeholders participate in discussions in Kumasi on a roadmap towards peace. I'm assured by the Asantehene that the process will resume next week when he returns from his brief visit abroad. Congratulations to our armed forces for the sacrifices you have made, even at the peril of your lives, to protect life and property in the Bawku conflict area. We need the cooperation of all to restore peace in Bawku and its environs. And I entreat all sides to embrace peace as we dialogue to resolve this age-old dispute. The distinguished guest, plans for the expansion of the Ghana Armed Forces to ensure increased capacity to counter both internal and external threats were initiated while I was in office in my previous term. During this period, we supervised the acquisition of air, land, and sea assets to equip the armed forces to fulfill their mandate of keeping our nation safe. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in resetting our nation to build the Ghana we want, my government will aggressively pursue the ideas of operational and combat readiness of the Ghana Armed Forces. We will resource the Ghana Armed Forces. This means better equipment, including more simulators, advanced training, and the ability to mobilize swiftly in times of need. You will be equipped to excel in your duties. We shall assess the retooling initiative and facilitate cost-effective outcomes to equip our army to the standards required for a 21st century defense force. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we revel in the significant achievements of our young regular career course 63 graduates, who are ready to secure Ghana's peace and sovereignty.
Yɛtoa kaseɛ no so asabre ababeto UTV ye premo kaseɛ ɛpono so sɛ nam Bawku entokwa no entie sabre obepie mu ɛwɔ binduru a ɛmanfo bi dia boani ama binom ahwere wɔ mu enkwan no nti sabre yɛsɛm choni Abdullahi Abdul Kadil ɛwɔ ahoma no so Abdullahi wotemenka memo ha ɛba premo kaseɛ so Abdullahi wotemenka memo ha Hello Abdullahi Abusiafo egusoa epusu eye Abdullahi na homa no said the medical de atumo Abdullahi what make am mo ha Hello Okay abusiafo yensaka eye Abdullahi ayebeji enchimo na ye de atoa so asabre ye toa kase no so US Army Southern European Task Force Africa womo ene Ghana Armed Forces sabre womo dwumedi omudi nuye no eye African Land Forces Summit no ene omudi ni nyina aba na wie ye nenam so ema eye owura Ernest Broja Jemfi wona eye Deputy Minister of Interior okopie mu wo ho na di ani mu omudi dwumedi ni nyina eba wie ye ne no na ogina sa ye no wochere se seba my Ghana ye kura ye mu edipa se ye bedi animu na ya ye nhyehyeye ne ne ankwankwa aman a etwa ye ho ahia ani mpo aman ahodo a ayonkofo a eda ye no omuntem no ekoyie no anaso omu ye ayonkofo no ye ne wo mo ebedidi nkomo afa ohawa ahodo a efefa ye ho na afa ya pe ho pomasibre.
The success of this summit is not only marked by the wealth of deliberations and valuable ideas, but also the opportunities it created for strategic engagement and networking. Ghana remains steadfast in our commitment to play leading roles in arrangements such as this, which provides a platform for our allies and friendly nations to deliberate on our common challenges.
As we reflect on the activities of the past few days, we cannot fail but to acknowledge that it has been a great opportunity for strategic engagement, insightful deliberations, and networking. The summit will be credited as a platform that produced innovative solutions and a unique opportunity for widespread engagement with experts in the defense and security sector. I trust that the takeaways from the summit would be harnessed to inform our individual and collective policy actions as we strive to address common defense and security issues and challenges.
This week reminded us of the importance of partnerships. It was an absolute honor to meet with the great leaders in this room and to co-host this fantastic summit with such a great partner.
Yeah, talk us and so sabre ube PMua said rubber esemi ade ha dwen eye ewo maimunti and I'm so my fresh packed and zoom lions sabre o makabo mu adadwumedie bi e of friend sustainable policy blueprint o mo se no eba beboa ama encheche anasa mani so ade hunu kwan a ye betimi ate ye rubber so afi sa policy be san acheche said ye besi abane eye rubber yi e de fi o man Ghana mu kra say na adwumedie no ekoso.
Your friend policy blueprint. Your launch ama buying a policy blueprint beboa ama Ghana yenya plastic alternatives industry. Inti sa industry no ebema for the local production of plastic alternatives our Ghana yebenya alternatives you see plastics biom Ghana for mu fie ni nia nim say plastics no ha drink ukoto ade wo dwoma wo de share rubber na wato atwene rubber no ebetumi take about 500 years ansa na pro inti no the more you see plastic no the more ha environment what's a yenya plastic alternatives industry ewo Ghana ha yeah you be producing young alternatives ebe solve plastic challenges no but in addition to that no ebe ma ejuma inso aba Ghana in the next 25 years no Ghana so we share yen plastic waste generation now ebetra 3.8 million tons by 2025 and now Obroni Beka said that is a huge colossal amount of plastic waste. Now so we share yen recycling capacity ne yen collection capacity na very low. Inti the capacity no for recycling and collection no and rise it to the level to me I rely on to address and reduce the plastic waste.
Pillar 4 policy was a lot of public awareness. Now so you're starting free in Kwalai primary any GHS. Into Zoomla foundation you're championing awareness about plastic and environmental pollution. Into our policy you're quite offer that aspect. Near down to our schools, Zoom kids schools, any schools near more fry organ near come base. Alternative or yes plastics only chance be I say plastics na wedding udi ejuma debi bet me use leaves unso I use plastics e the year no e mofra no beti ase say no say plastics na the fufra ba e betimi dey den ayefuo no nti mofra no krampo no betu anamo start aka che omo papa no say plastics say use wefuo mu yes ye the fufro bi abawo coconut fiber bia ba yetimi yeden yetimi di ye efuo ma ne ye unhia plastics bia enu nti na zoom lion ya jatum say ya policy ya the papa into Zoom Lion Foundation so you be fa education aspect no na de tutu anomo na abufra bia na youth bia tiase.
The policy is a roadmap for Ghana's sustainability goals and has been designed to protect our environment, foster economic growth, and support local industries. It aligns with Ghana's broader vision for sustainability, ensuring that the actions it proposes not only safeguards our environment, but also creates economic opportunities, bolster local industries, and enhance livelihoods.
Also for Bediache Emma a woman siansam so your honorable Clement Abasa Park and our dear Nimo Amasabre Ukupimo Ewo Accra Girls Senior High School chemistry laboratory wakwako power ehon entama sa project e 1984 and 1985 year group for all students and omusi sa chemistry laboratory no and a deputy education minister editor Justice Abe was say ankwankwa adwumakuo any stakeholders nyina omo enkamom no mutimi emboa education fraternity na say ba nwomesia ensem so ba ndansie ene akade ebetimi abo omo so fo mo njimo bi se de be ya nwomesia ensem betimi akwa mo.
I ask the teachers to continue to do their best. We know they don't have all the apparatus yet. We know the conditions are not the best, but we know they are committed to helping us produce the leaders that we so much desire.
Sukui, yenye fi hano, nemu fine. Nature say a fibi in school moha. Who raise school moha? Nature so wusha ha kwanda ha, who remwa when him say what school mo. Nene, who raise school yimwa. Baby a fi, obia sorry no about see bibi konyo bi wa ha. On my year, chichingas stand. So kwa nkwala yedi nkwala abasa omumra mehia de
enhwehwemu bi abeda edi a pure earth for na yes a enhwehwemu ya beto edwase eba no dade sen a yenuamu yi ade a ede ohaw kese pa ba yeso enkanka yen Ghanafo enunti enam so ema Environmental Protection Agency wo mu panyine esi oda no nana Professor Nana Ma Brown Kluche ena odi atudwa se sabre wone Ghana Standard Authority for ebeka bom no ma bodewuro pa na fe wo ma ye nhwehwemu krogen na wo ma certify that is eba edwaso ema yenso yetimi enuamu no
Inka na me yenyim de aluminium nkote na nka wode ya dade sen na nda yehu da wode metals different types different types wode afafra no wode ya dade sen nti na yenye Ghana Standard Authority waka ye ho ye dzidwuma otedam ye ba bo hwan na wode leather wode keka ho no we je de wode ka ho menyim pa de wonyim mpo de oye aluminium wa fafra na lead abefrem a wode ye oye that the same nti ye bobo ho na we lead wode fi that the same na woye no mu na ye nya that the same a oye safe na he ba nku no ye tumi aka na ye didi ye wa bra ye mfa lead mfa nka he dzibenze ho EPA na Ghana Standard Authority yankasi ye de kan ya atwatwa ho nkrata ya oba guide hand to regulate them nti ye walk around na ye hyehyia ho ne ba fro ho nyina meet na ya church na okwana oba fado na wa ye that the same no ama hawa otedam ambama magana foso wenya apomedin hawo biara.
As part of this project, if it's possible, we can have a system where we will certify all manufacturers of cookwares, because you can educate, you can let them know the consequences, but there's a need for us to certify them so that they will comply with a certain standard, and at the end all the cookwares that are being manufactured in the country will be accepted. So that is key area where GSA is going to work with Pure Earth so that we can achieve this.
The health concern of the lead issue is huge. In fact, globally, not only in Ghana, about 815 million children are lead poisoning. Now, what it does is that it affects children's learning abilities. And for adults, in fact, recently a World Bank report last year estimated that over 5.5 million people globally died from lead poisoning. This is serious. And there are so many other things, the kidney failures, so much that we get from lead. Children are more vulnerable because of their bodies. Their bodies absorb lead 4 times than that of an adult, and so they have a lot more, impact. It have some, in fact, you see some hyperactive children is due to lead poisoning. Lead poisoning induces hyperactivity in children, and so it's a serious thing. In fact, World Bank estimated that GDP loss, globally is up to 6.6 trillion. As a result of children who are not able to reach their full potentials because of decrease in learning abilities. And so it's a serious issue, and that is why the world all over is taking steps to address the issue.
Honorable Davis and so Poku and Hutedin OPK Mrasebedwani Emakwo South and Pesiaso Eastern region as Abodia to just say police command Kwo ese nyade se obeso so enubone eton ho enkanka East afahye ya ebebei onim se nipa bebo dompem abepie mu Eastern region enti se why wadwen se wo beton enubone ho no ma nyade se wo mo beso so wo mo che wa mra ne wo bedi no panyi di nsem etudwabra woni nsemkyerefo edi ehia
ahomabo a yempenifo aye Taurus ko Easter say Easter no hwa e de nipa dom bebre e ba ye kromu ase na e wose ye magana fo hunu nhihye ne niema ye de atokwan mu se be ya wo mo ba wo mo trabia mu e wo kobo ase no e be ya jojo e de ama wo mo yenim se edru sa bre ya e na enije ne doso na enije no so doso na nipa boyenfo so de omo jimu eti approach for ahye niema e be ma ya make sure say bi obi ba no de adwembonu na e ba sa nipa no ye ne no e be dele se ne fata ye san so ditubia hihye awodo bebre ni titire ne ye paragliding site na e bi kasi paragliding no emba so afi but afi ye de over 7 pilots and eba e bi free USA e bi free Russia ya ye Ghana ni so e ka ho a wo ba na ode nkrofo abefa ewiem ama Easter no aye kra behwe wo hwa ye tourist sites bebre na uko Bawku Mountains uko waterfalls Tafo waterfalls senior GT and penifo ne kan ye no there are a lot of tourist sites Brunibeka tourism circuits people should take advantage of take advantage and enjoy the beautiful scenes and serene of Kwawu. It will be Obebiano. The person should be assured, say, the people of Kwawu, the taxi drivers, the market women, the youth of Kwawu, the various sites are ready to accommodate everybody. Come and enjoy Kwawu. Any inrobone ebeba your community simu. Now the police unit are very strict on that. Drug abuse there say mebono one more edi tramadol barbeton one more edi highest versions of tramadol and a friend red barbeton one more edi sebio say cocaine and nancy weed any niema barbeton no omunyina omunya hwe sebio the fact say your jawo one doesn't mean say we allow people to come into our community and destroy the youth.
Minim nentia sabi esa obi ehumba obi mu so oba bedi Easter. Sabi me dia police pendi wa ha no. Sa na me so meti so ne oba obi be wia obi be yese. Obu oho no mu a senia MP ekaye no bia ade na amo ya wa ha no mo no na on pese be ko so to oka bibi ama asere. Sabi enipa no metesi eso si krobu ha no di chainsaw ekon me police commander me hu so me ba 2 years me hu so be the chainsaw kra twa obi me hu so sabi yakokoto etuo akum obi because of say bia ahensem ni hwe Kwawu a enye Kwawu pe Ghana enye Kwawu pe na ahensem wo bebia etedi entina sabi yebedi Easter aya no kramp enye bia akanfo afa e ba fa say obroni afa hye ana meboa eti ye babaji ye nie wa sori kwan so a na ye baka say sabi obi ba kuntibo obi ba ye ne de me mpese mekwa ye no mu bebre bet enye no kre
Ghana by and Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation. One more any teleperformance at Akabomu and as teleperformance Ghana. Akabo mama sabre wo moba bebie enyuma ama emebunu ene omanfo enye juma enso so aye no se saa ekwan ya wo mo efa so yi ebeboa dane eniema ni na so mai sikasem anipa amenetimi etumpon.
I can tell we are present in 11 countries in Africa with more than 50,000 employees.
Yes.
And we want Ghana to be on the forefront in Africa for TP.
So that's one significant component that the country is open for business. Two, there are also plans underway to reform part of the GIPC law, which is to attract a lot more FDI to the country. But it's important for us to look at everything within the broader context of what's happening around the world. So we must open up our own country for investment, and that's what we're doing. We must encourage those who are already investing here to reinvest a lot more, like what we've just witnessed. TP has been here for 3 years. Now they want to move their staff to 2,000 and to 5,000 and almost to 10,000 and beyond. So government is ready to give them the support which is required. My colleague have said we do have the trained labor, which is around to work, highly skilled labor. The conditions the government is willing to work upon the investment environment and to open up the space for them.
So as you may be aware, the Ghana Digital Centers, our core mandate is to create a platform or an enabling environment for the digital space in terms of BPO operations. Our mandate is to set up the centers that can accommodate institutions and organizations like this to do more of the BPO services. And for that matter, we are excited about some of these interventions and prospects. It means that what we set out to do, what we plan to do, what we launched, we started in 2016, is attracting the needed attention and is attracting the needed investment, that's the FDIs, because this is a direct foreign investment that goes a long way to create jobs for our youth. So that is to say that we are excited as Ghana Digital Centers. What we set out to do is attractive, even though this center is not really at our center, but we've been able to open the door for BPO services across the country.
The other thing that we try to do is give them a positive work environment. And so you will notice that we have a great office because we are big on wellness, and as part of our office design, we make sure that we create an experience for them. So we have our wellness center, we have our recreational areas where people can just go and relax, wind down when they are tired. And we're also very big on people development because we strive to grow with the people within the organization. Most of our promotions are done internally, and so we understand that we have to groom people to take up these roles. So as an organization, we have a strategy, a people's strategy of ensuring that we are empowering our employees and that we are giving them a platform to develop and grow as the business continues to grow.
Osofo a wada oti mantemo ano na sabre wo frɛ omanfo mo keje bi nyina sɛ omumra na wo mo enka mom no montai DCE foforo kra wayi no echie sanse so mo eka bomu a na ban yani so ade hu ne si nani so ebetimi abam enti sabre wode ato wo manim ne no ne nam so ema DCE foforo ayi no wode ato edwa sɛ eba na pomuden kuaye ene eye mabuna ebefo mo djuma ene emman so mo beje nteteye nsano djuma enteteye na yade eda na koma so yie pa nti wo frɛ ankwankwa djumakuo eye nkwankwa nsori so wo munyina so embra no mo meta na chi na oti mantemu ankanka kejebi wo muni so ade hu no entimi emrem.
Health, education, or healthcare, agriculture, infrastructure, and job creation will be at the heart of our development agenda. We will seek innovative ways to improve our road networks, enhance access to quality education and health services, and empower our youth and women through skill development and entrepreneurship. I urge all all stakeholders, including civil society, religious bodies, and the business community to support the district assembly's vision. Together, we can create an environment that fosters economic growth, peace, and social harmony. Honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us embrace this new chapter with renowned commitment and dedication. I call on everyone, irrespective of your political color, religious, and ethnic affiliation, to join hands as we embark on this journey of transformation. Together, we can build a credible district.
NDC a party nkabom na gom chichiremu nimu papa na ehwe boni nkwa chire yabre ansana yanya otirigin ne ehia ne se otirigin be kabom na mpuntunjuma ye bisa ye wura John Dramani Mahama no odi ahye enza yanya enu ene mama ye nananom apre sai bibi ama yanyi ana ko nsuma jure no omuda hokra na omu IFM
abusafo said yes akase na semidi kan de to ahwefo nyina anim sesabre nam boko entokwa ekoso enti ubepie mu ewo binduria omanfo bi dia boy ni ama sabre ya ye kase enipa binum ahwere wo nkwa enu nti ensem chiro ni Abdullahi Abdul Kadir ewa homa no so Abdullahi what make am mo haba UTV promokase so
yo mejisu
sabre he for pote na wujana den so na esi wo ho no
yo me da sisia me wo Chief Palace Bawku Kusasi Chief Palace
okay
Parliament Chief of the Kusasi traditional area yeah yani IGP any mpenyifo ne ye nananom ana omo ha mudim komo se de ya asinde ebeba Bawku ni area ha se na IGP badu imranten Bawku Youth Association na Bawku Youth to help process say nka IGP on share na on use ne tumi as the IGP in the Ghana Police Service nka on share no chief the Mampusi chief no obia on qualifies and obedi chief because in the year 2023-2024 there was a warrant for his arrest simply because he was illegally in scheme. He wasn't a legitimate and qualified to be in scheme as the paramount chief of the area. So they are demanding for his arrest. Otherwise, there will not be peace in Bawku today, and there won't be peace in Bawku tomorrow. So the simple thing is that IGP Onfena Nkaomunchino, from today, immediately he leaves, the following day, no China, Nka news never babon to say, Seru Abagri, the Mampusi chief, political Abachin. Simple and teachers, Omu demand me, and yes, idea, as we read it, Emba. Now, yes, no, as you announce and then of by Nipami and Anna Omusu Afrima and Ajay. Binduru Ho baby, and I don't know much to so Sama, dear Bachin. A dear Bachin, a police for whom Nipami and San said, Mau at home, at to Akumu. Nipa Bakunuka and Ajonana, as a Omuchi, Nami, Nunu, dear, Omusha Busia phone said, yeah, Nka, what you know, Omud Koma, Omubusia for, so that they also do their barrier service.
Hey. And to say that so mona cases to say, the Omu here ni muso mesa, Omusan can idea some jedi intimate manyasa.
Yes.
Hey, in paying for ne IG promo PM one day no monso so worker.
Say IGP in paying for say the CCI Omubedu the Police Intelligence Bureau, the National Security, and some other security agencies along with the IGP. So we trust and hope that before Obesan Akram, they will be able to gather some evidence and as to what procedure to use to combat this particular unrest in the Bawku area. because the extension here, the youth are hot protesting all over. Then Papa said about the Mampus chief, IGP, the simple thing one chino, and yes, there will not be peace today, there will not be peace tomorrow.
Let us almost on Neshasama Bunechima or more Edi Boni.
Yes, so almost the man said because of San Baba Punti, over 100 plus people have lost their lives. Into a month now, Emma, because of one person, thousands of people will be dying every single day. So the person said, with the IGP, he should do justice to his arrest. And that will be the end of the case.
Nakado, or no, him for Naya was Soma Womo, and Womoko di say Jumano.
So, no, Omuni and Ringina, Omunina, or Kruma, Mampusi for area and chief no, and Akuta for chief. So that is the confusion now. And Omudiman say, and yeah, they on bet now I'm at 2 chiefs at Naho. So the Mampusi man, according to them, is illegal and is not legitimate, is not qualified to be the chief. When their own chief is already there, who was even there before he came.
Okay.
So yes. So
is that a to Musa or your hene?
Yes.
Oh. I think it's your munjin to Mono Ntokwa Nibiana Yehuni say. Maybe Sasa Gia engine to Mono. And no Empopayana won't Tokwani Bina Yehuni say.
Exactly. Said the year or Mono Sam Tokwane Fukuna attack near Sabasabatamina Nampe. The government, according to them, is failing to do his work. And the work, according to them, is to arrest the Sedu Abari, who is the Mampusi chief. Their demand for now.
Enti sa na se omo hwe se o hene baako ono de enyini mfi ho no ma na se bia wo mo enche no na the other o hene nso e.
Yes, so according to Omono, there wouldn't be any place you go and see 2 parliament chiefs in one particular traditional area or kingdom. Now, almost on Hineno, who is the Kusasi chief in charge of all the Kusasi traditional area, Onu was around over 30 years as the parliament chief. Now, Onu also in 2022 and 2023 said, Onu Obedi parliament chief Wahanum na. He was illegally installed by the Mampusi chief, who is the Nairi. So they will not allow him to be installed by the Mampusi chief, who is the Nairi, to preside over them when their own chief is still alive and is still taking care of his own traditional area. So they will not accept it today, they won't accept it tomorrow.
Okay, your card, ya better was a Kosovo and EDH, they be free my baby as no my UTV as your phone near phone in answer so asmate. Yo, Medasepa. I was for ASM Choni Abdul Kadil Abdullahi and Ayatene and Ka Ifri Bindiru. Yet Wakasiano Eswa Concerned Drivers Association of Ghana, Sabri Wamodi Abaso Bopa Nema. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say we dine Boshaso. Was say Sabri Abindadano. Etubi awode atoto enema so ana ebu omukomu ebi etese sanitation tax, emission tax, betting tax ne electronic levy tax no se omampanyine yi ni nyina everywhere. So omo hye se de His Excellency John Dramani Mahama esi di ne bohye so a na nsa se wo mo ka omano tum so omo de abasobɔ kese pa na Emmanuel nam so Emma chairman Emma association ni eye pa wuli wo no a edi dom ni nyina anim en wo de ensemi etu dwa sei no chem
one, they recommended president any money go away. The share or buy no caso be taxes be taxes to say sanitation tax we use for emission tax we use for betting tax we use for insurance related taxes we use for no and the any electronic levy e-levy also. And also we if you want more. Internet idea you be recommend no. Say why idea say we use our taxes and I then if you want more. Now so idea one menu bi one more so I say almost share. Now omo hu djuma e mine. Esan say idea no say o mine no. One galamsey nsem ya abai. Idea say insu ene aduane a yebedi so ede yare so ebrɛn enti no yesra aban ne say galamsey no onye very strict ewo ho say obi ode no ho be hyemu bia no mmra ne be den ebedi so Ghanaian no anaso foreign akrapo na mmra no emfa ne nye den endi ena secondly cocaine semia abai ye transport for internet say bana sana affect enso yeduma ena affect Ghanaian so enti ye share abana say sa issue na epio no omo make sure say omo de conclusion be den ebeba na bibia ayeyi we driver for no so kai abana say o promise omo bibi aye a driver for welfare and also yes share aban no say ombo modian say obede obedi hu juma and lastly drivers holiday na aban no promise yes or the bema drivers no and also ombo modian say obehwe na wedi hu juma ama driver for yes and say driver for o share the largest employment sector ewo my we mu a driver for because car bi albo say driver na ni meet and taxi for and Uber for ni nyina no a driver for ebu juma pan yi o share omo amko long journey e ko fa aduane nyina e ba no ya driver for enti ne yesra aban say oma a driver for welfare no embra so say ne be a driver ni ko retirement obetimi anya bibi e de ahwe no ho na drivers day no so yemfa mbo a driver for abaso enu nti na ye free press conference yi emei ya da say
area this my a driver for NCB so near home premo kasiye yakoba David Oforisa fo bongo di fara o de agudie mu nsem so ebeto asanko bebia beba sisia